everyone, what is going on? We are going to play Sherlock Holmes The Awakened today, and it's going to be chapter 1. Now, this game is done by Frogwares, and it originally came out back in 2006. It's been remastered since then, and it should have quite a bit of updating as far as graphics go. I'm looking forward to playing it a lot. I have played all of the Sherlock Holmes games going back to the original Jack the Ripper game on the Xbox 360. And it's a great style of gameplay because you get to walk around and explore. You get to piece together all the clues and essentially solve the murder mystery and what's going on. And I love that sort of thing. So hopefully you like it as much as I do. So let's go ahead and get started and let's do it. All right, everyone. So here we go. Chapter 1, The Shadow over London. And per usual, we start on Baker Street. Looks like we see John Watson going up the stairs. Just gonna enter our apartment.
Dr. Watson, would you kindly close the door behind you so that we can limit the price of your carelessness to merely hours of work rather than days?
My apologies, Mr. Holmes. I found myself rather taken aback. I saw tidier houses in war-torn Afghanistan. Are those my surgical needles?
I ran out of tacks and the matter required immediate attention.
Was that my supper?
Plainly not, for I was the one who ate it.
Such a jerk.
I set it aside for this evening.
And for that I am grateful.
Is that my bed?
Watson, since you've proven yourself a master of observation, might I ask you to apply your skills to a more pertinent question? Namely, the whereabouts of today's newspapers. They are the key to everything. The newsboy is usually reliable.
Medically speaking, I often find that the key to everything is good sleep. In a bed. Your papers are here on the table.
All right. So this looks like it's our apartment. Really cool room. And like Watson said, oh my goodness, this place is a disaster. There's just stuff strewn about everywhere. So, and the last Sherlock Holmes, or I think it was actually maybe two ago, maybe in The Devil's Daughter, where if you look out this telescope, you can see a woman across the way. It looks like we can't interact with this time, and that's okay. Hey, where's our dog? I guess we don't have a dog this time. All right, so I have Brutus, I have Brutus hair like on my face. Okay, let's see what we have here. So for the first clue, we have the London Advertiser, September 28th, 1882. Tensions between England and Sweden are running high after a series of unfortunate mishaps during a recent visit to London by Swedish Princess Ildur. Chief among the scandals was the embarrassment of the British diplomatic corps as a result of the unexplained disappearance of Princess Ildur's personal bodyguard. The longtime member of her inner circle took the opportunity to explore London while off duty and never returned from his late-night promenade. A spokesman for the police assures the Advertiser that they are confident the bodyguard will be located, as he is a striking representative of the Scandinavian people. A man like that gets noticed whether by his peers at the gentlemen's clubs or the fair nightingales who comfort them.
Local gossip, all of it uninteresting.
All right. And then we have, what's this? Looks like, I don't know. What's it? Hello? There we go.
Order from Barnes' bookshop has arrived, Doctor.
Barnes insists on delivering the books to our door, even though we could easily walk to his shop. That's good service.
That is good service. All right. It looks like some kind of letter from
Another
Vogel.
letter from Werner. I never reply, but they keep coming.
All right. And the last Sherlock Holmes that I played, Werner Vogel was a primary person in it.
Pardon me?
I am on the precipice of uncovering a pattern of crime across London spanning many months and involving many men. The missing paper cannot be a coincidence.
That's preposterous.
My dear fellow, life is infinitely stranger than anything which the mind of man can invent.
Well, life used your newspaper to wipe its posterior, so after that unpleasant discovery this morning, I disposed of it. But in lieu of the Strand, perhaps I can deliver you something equally tantalizing. I have just returned from a patient of mine, Captain Stemwick, who...
No, that will not do. Grab your coat, Dr. Watson. Let us hope nobody has collected the dustbin.
All right. He wiped his butt with a newspaper. That's always, that's pleasant. All right, so I guess we're gonna go out here. Oh, good. We can still run. That's always good. Can't get into anything else. No. All right, out the door we go. All right, let's look in the garbage. All right, so we have this thing. What is
Cactus
this?
spine. If it gets in your skin, it's awfully tricky to remove, and when laced with poison, the perfect assassination tool. You were mistaken, Dr. Watson. The paper was indeed dirtied, but not how you implied. It's potting soil.
That's
See,
a relief.
Watson, the conspiracy is real. Someone tried to poison me.
Poison? You? That's madness.
Yeah, with a cactus spine. Okay. Well, maybe. You never know, I guess.
Get the
All
Strand.
right, let's
Get
see
your
if we
copy
can
of the
talk
Strand here.
to this little newsboy.
Sorry, Mr. Holmes. I just sold my last paper.
Blast. Then why are you still here?
Boss pays by the hour. No sense in returning early.
And the other Sherlock Holmes games, you definitely always want to talk to the kids. They definitely are the eyes and ears of the town. They see and hear everything.
You're a bright child. I presume you see everything that goes on
Yep,
around
exactly.
Nothing gets past me, mister.
here. Then tell me, did you notice anyone suspicious at my door this morning?
Like the man with your newspaper?
Precisely. What do you know?
I know the value of a shilling.
Dr. Watson,
Cool, now I can take the day off.
did you see what he was up to?
Nah, not really. I saw him approaching your house, but I had a customer. Then there's a loud bang. I ducked down. Not because I was scared, because I wasn't. I had to protect the merchandise. And all I could see was him kneeling at your door.
He's like, I ducked down, not because I scared, but I mean, yeah, you hear a loud bang, you probably would be scared. Does anyone else sit in a weird position when they play? I'm actually sitting Indian style. I sit weird.
Which way did he go?
Not sure. I was distracted by customers. Sorry.
Alright, so tell me about the man at our doorstep.
Can you describe the man you saw?
He was carrying a lot of books. Up to his chin they were.
Never heard of a well-read assassin.
Looks can deceive. Hence the appeal of disguises. All right. You earned your shilling. That'll be all.
Thanks, Mr. Holmes. Maybe I could be your eyes and ears. If you have more shillings.
Alright, cool. So we got that, and I would guess that we have to open and go into our mind palace so that we can figure out the next step, because it didn't give us anywhere to go yet. So let's see. Who ruined the Strand? Alright, so we have a book from Barnes. So I would guess that is... Huh. Where do you have the cactus spine? Let's see. And then... Okay, for documents and testimonies, we're going to use the newsboy's testimony. Alright, good. There we go. So Barnes, the local bookseller, ruined the newspaper. Mr. Barnes is involved in the scheme. The newsboy said the suspicious man was carrying a stack of books, and this morning Mr. Barnes, the local bookseller, delivered a novel for Dr. Watson. A cactus spine for assassination, a loud bang. A visit to Mr. Barnes is in order. Alright, so I guess we're gonna go to the bookstore. Do we have to pin this? Maybe. I'll wait to pin it.
Murder? Yes, Barnes has his quirks, but he also has his scruples.
Not every pawn knows it's part of a game.
Alright, so I'm just running this way to see if the bookstore is here, but that looks like that's a manor, so let's go the opposite direction. Let's see. Ah, okay. Here's the bookstore. New books in the store. Who are you? Nope, can't talk to him. Okay. Here we go. This must be the guy. Let's see. Oh, we get to do our first observation. Here we go. Alright, bags under eyes. The effects of overwork. Newspaper ink. Alright. What do you do to his knee? Leans heavily on his right leg and a sore left leg. High heels. Wants to look taller. Interesting. Okay, so we have to determine if he's a workaholic or a blackmail victim. So for workaholic, it says that he has developed a limp and has large bags under his eyes, the result of long hours of intense work. He is not very confident and tries to appear taller by wearing high heels. It seems unlikely that such a person would be involved in a murder plot, even if the ink on his hand suggests he is the one who soiled the newspaper. Nevertheless, Mr. Barnes could still be a pawn in a bigger plan without his knowledge. And for blackmail victim, it says that he has large bags under his eyes from the result of poor sleep and stress. He has developed a limp, likely the result of an attack. He wears high heels to look taller or stronger, presumably to deter future violence. It doesn't seem likely. Mr. Barnes is being threatened by someone and might be involved in a plot against me. I'm pretty sure the man is just a workaholic. He owns his own bookstore. I mean, that just makes sense. All right, so we're going to accept.
Mr. Barnes, a word. Oh, for goodness sake.
He just runs away. Hello.
Who goes there?
Sherlock Holmes. Now will you please...
Mr. Holmes. Golly, I did not see you come in.
Would you care to answer some questions for me?
Well, I wish I could, but I am deep in the weeds with work. How about we reschedule in a month or two?
In a month or
Come
two.
now, Mr. Barnes. It will only take a moment.
Really deep in the weeds with important things. Well, help yourself to any book. Just take it and pay later. I trust you, Mr. Holmes.
Barnes
What?
doesn't seem like himself. Why is he acting this way?
You're asking the right questions, Doctor. Let's find a way to coax him
I
out.
can't hear you.
What?
Please come back later.
Okay, so we go to talk to this guy and he just runs off and hides in the room. I really didn't think he was doing anything suspicious, but that was definitely suspicious. All right, let's see what this is.
The ladder is broken, recently, judging by the freshness of the wood.
Well, at least we know how he hurt his knees. He probably was going up this ladder and fell and hurt himself. All right, what else do we have? Wait, why do I hear a dog breathing?
I could hardly imagine anything more macabre.
I heard a dog panting, and it's not Brutus, I swear. Oh,
So,
Hey!
Barnes is a dog now. Who's a good boy?
I hear him. He's cute. Tiny little guy. Aw. All right, what do we have here? Exotic Plants Catalog. A catalog of exotic plants on Barnes's counter. The name of the catalog reads, Everlasting Plants for an Everlasting Love. Alrighty.
Basics of cryptoanalysis, cryptography in Egypt. It appears Barnes has an interesting hobby.
Cryptology books at Barnes. That's cool. Alright, what else do we have? Anything good back here? Alright, no. Nothing. How about here? Nope. Alright, oh, okay, we got something here. Let's see. Got some sort of plant.
In the language of Mycroft's secret agents, it's a sign. Dried flowers are replaced when the job is done. I wonder who the recipient is.
Alright, so we have some dead flowers on display, sitting on top of a bunch of
An
books.
improvised stand, but it does make the flowers more visible.
Nothing. Oh, let's see.
The finest view London has to offer.
Alright, so we must be admiring this lady out the window. Alright. Alright, maybe we can go talk to this lady outside. Alright. Let's see. Oh, okay. Here's some stuff. Alright, so we have a rose.
Encouraging people to stop and smell the roses. It must take patience and care to produce a bloom so beautiful.
Oh, okay. So here's the cactus. Look at that, and it is broken. You see the pot? There it is. Yeah.
The pot is damaged. The blow was severe, but softened by something.
Your newspaper, I would presume. All right, what's this?
Familiar spine. That's what I found in my dustbin.
Must be. All right, we did the thing. All right.
Anything tickle your fancy, Mr. Holmes?
All right, so now we can do our second observation of this lady. All right, wearing makeup for beauty or concealment. A mourning brooch honoring her deceased husband. Oh, that's sad. Oh, I see a doggy over there. All right, shoes. Clean boots. Change shoes upon arrival. All right, what did I miss? Ah, here we go. A luxury fabric, unusual for work attire. A distant look, avoids eye contact or distracted. Alright, so if she is still grieving, it says that she uses makeup to hide her tear-stained cheeks. Her dress is made from an expensive fabric that is not suitable for outside work. Her shoes show no traces of mud. She must have changed them when she arrived. While she tries to bury her grief by dressing extravagantly, she still wears a mourning brooch in memory of her late husband. Her gaze, always staring off into the distance, reveals emotional detachment. Taken as a whole, one must conclude that Mrs. Fleming is still reeling from her tragic loss. So she's ready to move on. It says that she still wears the brooch in memory of her late husband, and that her dress is made from an expensive fabric that's not suitable for work. Her shoes show no traces of mud. She must have changed them when she arrived. Her eyes constantly dart around the street, seemingly in search for something. Perhaps she is waiting for someone. While Mrs. Fleming cherishes the memory of her departed husband, she is trying to move on, as suggested by her makeup and nice outfit. Perhaps she is dressing to attract someone's attention, or simply because she has learned to love herself again. So my thought process is if that she is still grieving and she's maybe forced to work because her husband isn't there anymore. But I don't think she would be dressed so fancy, and she wouldn't take the time to change her shoes if she was still grieving. She just wouldn't. So I think that she is ready to move on. All right, so accept.
Mrs. Fleming, you look particularly lovely today. Is there a reason?
Does a woman need a reason to look or feel beautiful?
No, but your distant look suggests you seek one man's gaze in particular.
Who told you that?
Nobody. Merely a keen eye and some simple deduction.
Well, I'll kindly ask you to keep your keen eye to yourself, Mr. Holmes.
All right, so let's provide some evidence. So, all right, let's ask her about the cactus first.
One of these things is not like the other.
Come again?
The cactus. Those fearsome spines can prove a devil to remove, and the sap is often toxic.
And a rose thorn can give you tetanus, but we still grow them. The cactus seems comparatively harmless, though you have me thinking it must be valuable.
I was under the impression that you knew its price already.
Your guess is as good as mine. The first time I saw this cactus was when I came back from my break.
All right, so she just saw the cactus, so I would assume that Mr. Barnes just plopped it there. So, all right, so, or planted it there. Haha. Okay, so roses for sale. Let's, oh, okay. Okay, let's see if she's noticed the dead flowers on display.
What do you make of the flowers in Barnes' shop window?
Well, they could use a bit of water.
Do they mean anything to you?
Mean anything how? I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Holmes.
Why do you think they're there?
Are you suggesting the flowers are for me?
It seems likely, does it not?
Oh, I hope you're right.
Alright, so it seems like she likes the bookkeeper as well. That's good news for him. Okay. So, what else do we have? She wouldn't know about the broken ladder. Maybe she can tell us about Mr. Barnes.
Are you familiar with Mr. Barnes?
Yes. No, not really. Well, in a way.
What on earth does that mean?
I know who he is, of course. But we haven't shared much more than a look.
A look?
Nah.
Yes. Each morning I go for a walk in the park with my dog. And most days I spot Mr. Barnes there with his new puppy. So we see each other. Actually, we once met briefly while our dogs played. He was quiet and seemed unsteady as he approached. But since then, we've never spoken. I often see him staring through the shop window. Sometimes I wonder what he thinks about that would etch such longing onto his face.
I will say that people back in the day dressed so much nicer. Like, everybody's, like, in full suits and really cool looking outfits. And now today, like, people just put on their pajamas and go to the grocery store. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I don't do that, but I know some people do. Oh.
Hello there. What's your name?
Lily, I know, not very original.
Oh, it's cute. She's got the same name as a flower. All right. Let me click on anything else. No, that looks like that's it. So I'll go back in here and see if we can talk to Mr. Barnes. I would guess that we probably have to do something in Mind Palace again. All right. So why is he acting strangely? I would say maybe the cactus and a cracked pot. And then what observations do we have? The dead flowers on display. And then let's see. Maybe Mrs. Fleming on Barnes. Alright, awesome. So Mr. Barnes is in love with Mrs. Fleming. So Mr. Barnes loves Mrs. Fleming. Barnes displays a bouquet of dead flowers to attract the attention of Mrs. Fleming, a florist. He may hope she will come into his shop and give him watering advice, or it could simply be a symbol of his desperation. Yeah. Barnes anonymously gifted her a cactus, which he ordered from the catalog on his counter. A questionable choice, but for Barnes, a symbol of his internal love, since the catalog presents these cacti as immortal. Plainly, this is the same cactus he dropped on the Strand outside 221B Baker Street. Now to hear the full story. Alright, so now we can finally talk to Mr. Barnes. It's hilarious. Like, he's so nonchalant, just like getting a little puppy to try to talk to her there, putting dead flowers on. Like, he should just go talk to the lady. Alright.
I think perhaps I have been chasing shadows.
Do not despair, Mr. Holmes. Even the best of us make mistakes. We better tell Mr. Barnes what we've learned.
Alright, this is great. So now we can talk to this guy.
Barnes, I know what you did, and I know why you did it.
I'm sorry, Mr. Holmes. I can't hear you very well from behind the door.
Alright, well, let's talk about the new cactus.
You ordered a cactus from the plant catalogue and then left it for Mrs. Fleming as a gift. You place flowers in the window to get her attention and wear high heels to appear taller and more desirable. You are her secret admirer.
He's so, like, he's very, very rough around the edges.
I couldn't read this morning's edition of The Strand because it was covered in soil and spines. I know you dropped a cactus on it and then fled.
Barnes, it's Dr. Watson. Rest assured, we are not interested in disclosing your personal affairs to anyone, including Mrs. Fleming. Please come out.
Thank goodness for Watson always coming in and saving the day.
So, you know what happened then? I was on my way back from the post office, having picked up the cactus and some books. It was quite an awkward package, heavy too, and when I got to your door, I dropped the cactus and your paper. Forgive me.
I needed that paper to prove a theory and prevent a crime. Your actions were rather disruptive.
Jeez,
your
Sherlock.
clumsiness carrying the post is matched only by the clumsiness of your romantic gesture.
Oh, it's true. I am useless with this sort of thing. I'm not even sure if Mrs. Fleming noticed.
Oh my gosh, this poor guy. Sherlock is just so mean.
As in most things in life, truth is the answer. Cease with the abstruse signals and anonymous gifts, and simply talk to the woman. What is the worst that can happen? She rejects you, and you are freed from this endless purgatory.
That... Yes, you are correct, of course. I do have a slight tendency to overthink things. Thank you.
So, at last, we return to the matter of the paper. I'm investigating a string of burglaries. Did you perhaps read of any before the edition was spoiled?
I don't recall, but you're welcome to read our copy for yourself.
You had an issue of The Strand here all along?
Well, naturally. I am a bookseller. I have a subscription to every magazine and newspaper in London.
So you ought to be familiar with the concept of burying the lead.
Oh, geez, Sherlock, come on.
No, my apologies, Mr. Holmes. I'll make it up to you however I can. I am an expert on obscure languages and translation and
Yes, okay. Just give me the paper.
All right, The Strand, September 28th, 1882. Saltpeter explosion rocks docks. Locals at the Port of London had a rude awakening last night with loud bangs and thick red smoke disturbing the peace. Merchant ship Moskva had docked at Pier N3 in the early evening en route to Europe when it was rocked by several concussive explosions. The Port Authority is yet to comment on the incident, and it is unknown if any crew members were on board at the time. Eyewitnesses report seeing saltpeter leaking into the river, but with the area still off limits to workers and the public, it may be some time before we have a full account of what transpired.
Farewell, Mr. Barnes. I hope to hear good news about you and Mrs. Fleming.
All right, awesome. So we have completed this investigation scene as well. All right, do we talk to you here?
Enough of our meddling, Mr. Holmes. We best be off.
All right.
Well, that was an utter waste of time.
An assassination did seem rather unlikely.
There was supposed to be another burglary. I was certain of it. Something you wish to say, Doctor?
No. Well, only that you have a remarkable faculty for deduction and pattern recognition. And that perhaps, if ill-applied...
I see things that are not there.
Yes. It is London. There will always be burglaries. Doesn't have to mean anything.
So it seems. Forgive me. Without something to occupy my mind, I turn into an entirely different animal.
Which brings us back to my news from earlier. I think I have a case for you, a real one.
Truly?
Indeed. Though perhaps not as thrilling as your stories from Cordona. A patient of mine, Captain Stenwick, told me that his servant disappeared. I said I knew just the man to help. What do you say?
Oh, Watson.
Yes, I know it's not the most tantalizing mystery, nor the story to launch my writing career. But
It's brilliant. Let's go.
oh, good. Well, his house is nearby. Come.
Well, and because we went the wrong way earlier, we already know how to get there. Oh, I hear this, so let's go in. Oh, Watson, get out of the way, dude. Oh, the police
Is
are
this
here.
lousy attitude of yours because of my altercation with Inspector Lockhart? Did he put you up to this?
Sir, the inspector has nothing to do with it. I'm telling you the same thing I tell anyone seeking a missing person.
Good day, gentlemen. Forgive the intrusion. Captain Stenwick, this is my colleague Sherlock Holmes, the consulting detective I told you about.
At last, a professional. This useless officer refuses to do anything about Kimmy here, my missing servant. What was your name again? I shall be certain to inform your superiors.
Sergeant Ruffles. It's my superiors who made this decision, sir.
Alright, so who else is missing?
Have there been other disappearances lately?
Of course, here and there. But when life is tough and opportunity comes knocking, you can't blame those who answer.
Alright, so why won't you investigate
Why has
them?
the police department decided not to help?
We investigate murders, thefts, fraud, arson, real crimes. A servant walking away from his master is not our highest priority. That said, if we find him here breaking the law, we'll be sure to notify Captain Stenwick. Now, I must be off. Best of luck in your search.
You heard that, didn't you? The way that man spoke to me. I shall need your written testimony, then we can lodge a complaint.
Captain, perhaps Mr. Holmes' time is better spent learning about your servant.
so that he may begin his investigation.
Ah, yes. Quite right. Fire away.
Alright, can you describe Kimahia?
Tell me about Kimahia.
He's foreign. A Maori. All the way from New Zealand. Biggest man you've ever seen. And as strong as two. Dark hair and fearsome tattoos. He doesn't speak a whit of English. Never bothered to learn. But I made do with pointing. I invested a lot of money in him, so he must be found.
Alright, when did Kimahia vanish?
When did you last see your servant?
Kimmy here normally brings me the morning papers, but yesterday I had to get them myself. He must have escaped the night before yesterday.
Oh, I thought he had to get his own paper.
May I see your servant's bedroom?
His shack is in the garden. You can't miss it.
Did you search the room?
Of course, but only to check he wasn't lying dead inside. Everything seemed normal at a glance.
Alright, so why would he run away?
Is there any reason Kimahia may have left?
I should think not. He had all he could have wanted. Gainful employment, new clothes, and all the cabbage he could eat.
Oh, wow. Sounds like a really good deal.
Did Kimahia make off with anything of value?
Heavens, no. I would have mentioned it to Sergeant Ruffles.
Still, he must have fled with some money on his person.
No. I kept his wages in my safe. For security.
What? That's terrible.
I take it this is the first time Kimahia has vanished?
Undoubtedly. The man seemed terrified of the city. I think it was all the noise. He never left this estate. Should he cause any damage, I will bear the responsibility, for it was I who rescued him from savagery and brought him here to England in the first place.
All right, Captain. I think I have enough to get started. We shall first take a look around the mansion.
Go ahead. I'll be here, mentally drafting my complaint.
Alright. So now we get to investigate the scene where Kimahia was missing. So let's see if there's anything over here in this table area. No. I will say that the scenery in this game is great. And the dialogue is actually really funny and the voice acting is done very well. Alright, so we have a headless statue. It looks like they were trying to fix it maybe. So there's a ladder here that I just ran into. Alright, what is this? Alright, so we have a knee print from somebody hiding.
Looks like a knee print.
Okay, we have somebody's shoe
A
print.
shoe print, roughly size 11, with a worn-out sole. These are a workman's boots.
Alright, and then whatever this is.
Chewing tobacco.
Okay.
Someone knelt here. The amount of chewing tobacco suggests they were waiting a while.
Amazing, Mr. Holmes. To read the ground like an open book.
Okay, oh, so this thing came up, so now we get to... No. We get to pick options here. Alright, so this is Kimahia, which definitely isn't him, but we don't have enough clues yet to get the other two options. So let's leave this for now and keep exploring. Let's see, can we get in here? No. Alright. Anything with this cart? Okay, we got something with the door.
This lock is quite unusual. It appears that the key should be bent to the right.
Alright. Alright, we got an axe. Just laying on the ground from chopping wood. Oops, there we go. Anything? Oh, something here.
The rag
rag.
reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney.
Well, that's definitely foul play. I don't think Kimahia would plug his own chimney. Okay, nothing. Alright, let's go in here. Nothing. Oh, something.
A scrap of Hessian.
Alright, it looks like part of Kimahia's outfit.
These were
Some broken
sturdy
box.
boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them.
Alright. Alright, so it looks like part of Kimahia's outfit is there, and then somehow this box got broken. Oh, alright, we got a... whatever this is.
Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't look. It has somebody's face. You can see like the eyes, the nose and mouth. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, this thing. Come on.
A
Okay.
small navy spyglass.
Ah. And Kimahia, why would he have a navy spyglass? Okay. Alright, so then we have an option for this one now. Alright. So Kimahia could technically be falling in this. Alright, let's see what we've got in here. Oh, what's this thing? Flute?
A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called.
Interesting.
Clothes made of Hessian. Is Sten really so miserly?
Well, he definitely is. I mean, the guy's living in this little tiny shack in the yard. He doesn't even come in the house. Okay. Oh, okay, here's another thing.
Button chops. The remains of a meal.
Okay, well, at least he's eating something besides just cabbage. I was a little concerned that that was his whole diet.
The ashes are long since cold.
Okay, what else do we got? Oh, this thing. The heck, a rock?
A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
Okay, we got something with the window.
Is this a Taniwha, a Maori water spirit? Or something else?
Oh, it's the graffiti on the wall. The thing's
Either
cool
way, it's
looking.
giving me chill.
No air coming through it.
Alright, so clearly somebody must have stuffed a rag in there to poison this guy because he was such a big guy and knocked him out. But why? Alright, so do we have enough clues yet? Let's... Oh! So this just popped up. So parallel tracks for wheels.
Could have left these tracks. They seem fresh.
Alright. I think that's all I see so far. Oh, maybe from this part? No, this one's broken though. Huh. Alright. I forgot to see if there's another area in here. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Alright, so that shows Kimahia sitting here and then with the drugs, but I definitely don't think that he would be using drugs, especially since the chimney was stuffed with a rag. Alright, so let's go see if we can talk to this guy and get some additional information about Kimahia. It also didn't look like Kimahia was wearing shoes in the reenactments. Alright, so what evidence? Okay.
Where are you going with this? I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Okay. Okay, spyglass.
Is
There we
this
go.
spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahia's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
Okay, so no. What about clothes?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahia's?
Yes, I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
Oh, the guy was just running around naked. Alright. Yeah, cloth
Where
and
are
chimney.
you going with this?
What? I definitely thought that would be one. Okay, how about this?
Do you happen to know Kimahia's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest, but I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes.
Alright, so that confirms he was barefoot in the reenactments, which means that is not his shoe print. Look
The
at
door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Gimme
Smart.
here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden.
My gosh, this guy's just as mean as Sherlock. Okay, how about the chewing tobacco?
Has Kimahia ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahia's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco.
Okay. Alright, so we're done talking to him, so now we're gonna run back over here and see what other clues we can find. It's so cool, it's just raining in the game. Very pretty. Alright, is there anything else we can find? I don't see anything else. I'm sure there's got to be more clues. Alright. Maybe we have to pin something to get something new. Let's see what we've got. Alright, let's try pinning this and see if we can find the key somewhere. Huh. There we go. Yep. Okay. Unusual form bent to the left. Key print is missing. Okay, so that must be maybe the house key and that was the gate key and it's missing, so that tells us something important. Alright, so what other evidence do we have that we can pin? There are fresh parallel tracks in the garden, but what could have left them? So we'll pin this and see what else we find. Okay, so now we see these new things. Okay. Often used, grass doesn't grow here, so this must be the path that Kimahia normally took with his cart. Pile of
Someone moved a
logs.
cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden.
Get out of the way, Watson. What is this? Alright, so this looks like Kimahia trying to get out of the gate, and we know he didn't let himself out. He was afraid of the city. Alright, this looks like the guy's trying to get out. Okay, there's only two options, so it's gonna be this one. Okay, so we're certain that one's right. So let's see what we can do with this one. Do this one. No. Alright, are we running? Oh, there's this one. Okay, so let's see what we have here. Alright, so this guy looks like he's got Kimahia on the cart and taking him out. And it looks correct, but let's see what the other ones are just to be sure. Okay, that guy definitely didn't roll out biscuits or whatever those things are. And that's Kimahia. We know it wasn't him. Alright, so this one's definitely right. Alright, so let's check this one. Okay, so did Kimahia break this box? Oh, okay. So this one shows Kimahia being dragged, and then this guy here tripping over the box. And this would make sense because he's got a piece of hessian that's there, that's kind of like dropped down. And then maybe he wasn't paying attention because he's so heavy and then fell and tripped over this box behind him. What else do we have? Okay, and then this just looks like the guy is just randomly falling, which I don't see happening. That doesn't make any sense. And he was obviously unconscious, so how would he be falling like that? So I think this makes the most sense, and then maybe when he fell, that's how he dropped his spyglass, his little navy spyglass. Oh, let's see what we've got in here. Alright, so we know it's not this one because he wasn't doing drugs. He had no money. How would he even get it? He didn't even drink. Oh, okay, so I've got something out here to look at. Oh, okay, good. Look, the guy is putting the drugs in there down the chute and then sealing it up. That's probably right. Okay, so those are the two options. So definitely Kimahia didn't poison himself, so here we go. Alright. And then we have the one all the way at the very beginning back up here. Alright, so we know it's not Kimahia because there's a boot print. This one looks perfect. So he's got a foot that it lines up with that and a knee print there. The spyglass, which he was spying on him. And then he was eating the chewing tobacco. Okay, that makes sense. Let's check the other one just to be certain. This one also lines up. But I like the other one, I think, a little more because he had the Yeah, the spyglass. Yeah, we know it's not Kimihia. Okay. There's that. Alright, so I think we are good to validate. So let's see if we're right.
Surveilling from afar,
Hey, we
the
got it right.
intruder waited
Alright.
for a window of opportunity. When Kimihia went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimihia inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass.
Exactly right.
In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimihia had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
Alright. Now we can go talk to this mean guy in the front again. Which I really don't want to, but we don't have a choice. And here we go.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimihia. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimihia's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
This guy is so mean. Cart tracks dotted the yard.
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimihia never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimihia was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimihia's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimihia, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know.
What?
Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is
Oh,
another
ouch.
second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
Wow. Oh, I want to be mean, but maybe we just, let me just be quiet for this time. Oh.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason.
Thank you, Watson.
The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll
What?
return soon with good news.
Now he gives
And
us the
in the
key.
meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
Oh my god, guy. Go stub your toe somewhere. Oh, can we... Okay, so we have the key, so let's go run back in here and try to get through the door. Ta-da! We did it! Alright, what else do we have? Nothing. Oh, what's that?
What does it say?
Alright, it's a little doll. What the heck is this thing? Oh my god, it has one leg.
No seams or torn fabric on this doll. Likely one-legged by design.
Oh, okay. Welcome to the hunt. Hey ho, street pigeons and roof ravens. Another treasure hunt is upon you. With a clue in hand, it's up to you to find all the dolls.
A treasure
Alrighty.
hunt. Used to do lots of those in my childhood for myself and...
Is it a call for help? A bad joke?
or both. Better not risk leaving this matter ignored, don't you think?
Okay, what do we have here? Oh, I see something on the ground. Look at that. Okay, it looks like a wallet, maybe?
Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
Oh my gosh, this guy's so clumsy. He's not a very good criminal. He leaves his spyglass and his wallet behind. So like,
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor?
Oh, saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done.
We had already read about the saltpeter explosion. Okay, so here we go. Here's a rope.
Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair.
No idea what that is. Okay, what else do we have?
Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahia's cart, I gather.
Okay. Oh, good. So we did the whole investigation scene. Alright, so we have everything here, so I guess we have to go to the Mind Palace and do something in here again. Alright, what are the notable features of the abductor? Alright. Like, a lot of these could be the right thing. Let's see what the observations is. Alright, what's this one? Okay, where does his trail lead? So, I would say that his trail leads maybe to the calling card, because the guy dropped it. Which, I guess it technically could be the wallet with... Oh, maybe both. Okay, so let's do this one. The wallet with saltpeter. And then... because though that guy dropped it, and then obviously the strand was talking about the saltpeter explosion, so maybe that's... oh, I can only pick two. Shoot. Alright, wallet with saltpeter and the strand, we'll go with that. And then... let's go back to this one. Alright, so what are the notable features? Okay, we're gonna pick the calling card, the spyglass, and then what are his features? Maybe his trail? Okay, pick his footprints. Alright, so we got the spyglass and then his footprints. We need another blue one. So maybe his wallet? Nope. Sailor's net. Good. So Kimahia was kidnapped by a sailor. Doctor is a sailor. A particular knot, a spyglass, and the footprints of a working man's boots. They all add up to one conclusion. Kimahia's abductor is a sailor. Alright, so let's go back to this one. Okay, so where does his trail lead? So probably not the wallet with saltpeter. So we have the strand, and then the calling card, and then okay, we have his abductor is a sailor. Okay, so we have two right. We need a different blue one. Okay, so maybe pick the sailor's net. Okay, his wallet. Okay, all evidence points to the port of London. Kimahia's trail leads to the port of London. We now know that Kimahia's kidnapper is most likely a sailor, that his wallet bears saltpeter residue, and that there was a recent saltpeter accident in the port of London. Everything suggests that to find Kimahia, we must head to the port of London. There is no time to lose. It is vital that we find a cab to the port of London immediately. Alright, great. So it looks like we did everything that we needed to do.
The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The port of London. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab.
Alright, let's find a cab. Let's talk to this guy. Alright.
Where to, Gav? The port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
looks like the end of chapter 1. All right, everyone, so there you have it. We finally finished Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, chapter 1. And I hope you liked it as much as I did, and we'll see you again next time.